Well, welcome once again to Buffs Prime Time as we come to you from Carelli's of Boulder in downtown Denver from 7 until 8 o'clock right here on Monday nights. It's Buffs Prime Time with Tad Boyle. The head coach of the men's team joins us for the first couple of segments, and JR Payne will be with us. She'll be up after a nice victory over the weekend, and also Josiah Sanders is going to join us from the men's team as well for our players segment. Look at this. The Buffs go and win a very hard-fought game at Arizona State, and the place is packed once again. We see how this works. I see how it works. But no, Colorado coming off a very nice ball game down in Tempe, Arizona. It was a heck of a broadcast to call and a fun game for fans. Probably not very fun for Tad in the second half. I think it's a little bit stressful. But 95-89, the Buffaloes knock off Arizona State to start 1-0 in Big 12 conference play. And that's the toughness you've been looking for.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. No doubt. I mean, we made winning plays down the stretch. And you know, you mentioned not being much fun. It's when that ball's tipped up, you know, whether you're a player or coach, it's a lot of fun, and I don't feel stressed. I don't feel nervous. Now, the 30 minutes before tip-off, it's
a mess.
It's
by the way,
not fun. I just it's only been 32 years. I haven't figured out a way to deal with it yet.
You know what's funny is before games sometimes on the road, I'll sneak into the locker room and use the restroom or something.
Yeah.
And Tad's sitting in there just a bundle of nerves, like he's begging for somebody come and talk to me. So I have to think about
and I'm sitting with all my friends. You know?
That's right. Team's out there warming up.
Yeah. But no, our guys made big time plays down the stretch, and we got rebounds when we needed to get rebounds, and I'm really proud of them. You know, and it's funny. I told him, and I mentioned this last week, Mark. You know, it's taken me a long time to figure this out, but I told myself, you know, after the Stanford and Northern Colorado losses, I said I cannot go on tying my emotional state to wins and losses, and it's hard to do. It's hard not to do that because it's such a natural thing. You know, you win a game by a point and you feel like you're on Mount Everest. You lose a game by a point, you feel like you're in Death Valley. So, but the reality is there's not much of a difference between winning and losing, and so I said, we got to commit to the process of just getting better every day. And so in our film session today, you know, if you'd have walked in there and sat in the back, or you'd have left, you'd have think, oh, God, they just got beat by Arizona State. Like, I wasn't in a very good mood because I'm like, guys, the most exciting thing about this team right now to me is we're playing here. Maybe 60%, 65%, and our ceiling is 100%. And so there's still such room for improvement on both sides of the ball, and we're doing some good things. Don't get me wrong, but the ceiling is higher than what we're playing to, and that's encouraging in one sense, and you know it's January now, and it's maddening in another sense. So, but welcome to coaching.
But you know the thing about it, though, to your point about how
welcome to being a fan, right?
That's right. Yeah,
or a play-by-play.
Exactly right. That thin margin of error that you've got, your chances increase though when you make the hustle plays, the gritty plays like we saw. There was a rebound by Isaiah Johnson that kind of on the far end of the court away from us the other day, where he got that one. Other guys got a deflection, or you get a stop, or one of those kind of things. Those are the little things that separate teams.
They are. Sebastian Rancic got a big offensive rebound,
yes, he did. Yeah.
And he got fouled and made 2 free throws. So, like, those are the winning plays, you know, that you have to make down the stretch, and we made them. We didn't make them against Northern Colorado. We didn't make them. Well, Stanford, it was a blowout. We didn't make them against Colorado State. Both those games were one possession games down the stretch, and we didn't make them. But against Arizona State, we did. And so you gotta give credit where credit's due, and our guys deserve credit for winning a game. You know, it's a new season. We kept talking about we're 0-0. Preseason's over with. We're 10-3. Now we're 1-0. Now we got to try to beat Utah, and the gauntlet begins.
Sebastian Rancic came out and joined us in the postgame on the broadcast, and I gave him props when we got off the air because I said, Sebi, there was a game where the ball wasn't falling for you. Right? He was 3 of 7 shooting, 0 of 2, but he found other ways. He ended up with 18 points, but he had 6 rebounds, 2 offensive, couple of blocks, had an assist, got to the free throw line, hit 12 of 14. Does that show some maturation?
No
for a
doubt.
young guy?
Sebi's doing so many good things for us, and it's, you know, everybody just looks at scoring, but, you know, when he rebounds the ball well, we're a much better team. Yeah. When he distributes the ball, because he is a good scorer and he is, you know, aggressive, and we want him to be, But when he makes, plays, his assist to Felix was a big-time play at a big-time moment. And he made some other really good passes that we didn't convert. He could have easily had 4 or 5 assists in that game. So, yeah, he's doing some good things. And again, with him, just like with every player, you build on the positive things that he's doing, and you just got to keep being more consistent on the things that he's capable of doing. And he's got a chance to be as good a player as he wants to be. I mean, he's our best NBA prospect because of the combination of his size and skill, and and we've had some guys like him in our program in the past. The most recent one, obviously, is Tristan da Silva, and I got to do this. I've been meaning to do it for the last week or two, so you just reminded me. But I got to go back and compare where Sebastian is, the middle of his sophomore year relative to where Tristan was the middle of his sophomore year. My guess is he's a little bit further ahead of where Tristan was, and that's encouraging because we all know where he ended up.
Yeah,
right?
Is that the closest comp?
I think it
him,
is. Yeah, size, skill.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Maturity, leadership. Yeah, he's got so many intangibles and he wants to be great. He works hard. He's got a great work ethic. So to me, yeah, Tristan is the best comp for Sebi. Most recently.
You mentioned big plays down the stretch, and how about the block of the 3-point by Felix Caceres?
Yes,
huh?
Block, absolutely.
I mean, that kind of length leaping ability got out there. That was a huge play in that ball.
Yeah, it was a huge play, and we had some really good contests on 3-point shots in the second half, and even in the first half. Our guys played with pretty good energy for the most part, so a lot of good things, and again, a lot of things to build on. But again, we gave up 8 points on made baskets in transition,
right?
Because we don't sprint back. We took 8 bad shots, 4 of which led to 9 points in transition. A bad shot, Mark, is just like a turnover. Like it's the same thing, and it leads to bad things on the other end. So those are areas where we have room for improvement, and where we're playing a lot of young guys, and that's part of it too. And just got to keep grinding.
The Buffs in the game had 48 points in the first half, 47 in the second half. Very, very balanced on both halves.
Yep.
You give up 38 in the first half. You give up 51 in the second half.
Yeah.
Talk about the defensive end.
Boy, well,
that's a lot of points.
That's a lot of points,
yeah.
And it's kind of who we are. I'd like to change it, and we're going to do our best to change it. We did some different things defensively in that game. We played a little bit of zone. We threw a three-quarter court pressing trap on
which was
them.
effective, by the way.
It was effective. Yeah. It was, but again, and I told our guys, there's no magic defense out there that is like a cure-all to become a good defense. If there was, everybody play it. Everybody do it. Like whether you're playing zone, whether you're playing man, whether you're pressing, whether you're not, like doubling the post, not doubling the post, doubling ball screens or just regular ball screen coverage. Whatever it is you do defensively, if you do it with effort and you play hard and execute and make it tough on the offense, you're going to be effective. If you don't sprint back on defense, It doesn't matter what you're running. You're going to give up layups. And if you take bad shots on offense, it's going to lead to transition baskets. So you got to control the things you can control. And defensively, we still have a long ways to go.
Right.
But we're going to keep – I'm not going to stop coaching it. I'm not going to stop trying. I know I feel like I sound like a broken record. I get tired of hearing myself talk.
Well, your kids have been saying that for years.
Well, so does my wife.
Yeah, so does
exactly.
Well, don't clam up here for the next half hour.
All right,
we need you to keep talking here on the program. There's one thing about Scott and I talk about this a little bit. With as much length as you have with guys on your team, there is something about playing big, is there not? And
no doubt.
That affects your defensive performance.
It's interesting you said that because Dave Pash.
Yeah.
And he did our game, and he wasn't our shoot around. I visited with him before our game, and he looked at me. He says, "Well, you guys are really, really long.
Yes.
You got good size, positional size." He says, and he was being respectful. So
Dave's a wonderful man. Yes.
Wonderful guy, but he said, "Your rebounding numbers don't reflect that." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, that's why I always say size is overrated when it comes to rebounding.
Sure.
It's toughness, it's grit, it's all the things you were just talking about. You're boxing out, hitting the body. Like, we've had less than 5 fouls called on us this year when the shot goes up. I love rebounding fouls.
Right. Those you accept. Yes.
I accept them, and there's a positive thing that comes out of it. You don't want your guys to foul, but
No.
like rather than fouling 94 feet from the basket with hand checks or reaches, like go lay somebody out,
Because that indicates effort.
And toughness, and that's what rebounding is.
Yeah.
That's what rebound. And Andre Roberson taught us that 6'7",
Yes.
80 pounds.
80, 90
when he
pounds,
got here. He's
yes.
probably 195 when he left,
Yep.
but he wasn't but man, he went after it.
Dave preceded me at Syracuse. That's a veteran question right there for an announcer. That was a nice way of saying, Coach.
Well, those you Syracuse guys are pretty hey, you're all pretty smart, right, Mark?
Well, I didn't go there, but sure, yeah, why not? Most of them are anyway. It's the Buffaloes this weekend, or this week, I should say, on Wednesday night. They've got Utah coming to town at 7 o'clock. We'll hit the air on the network at 6:30. Shem's going to do the radio broadcast out there on television once again. And by the way, a quick programming note, as they say, I'm on assignment next Monday, and so Corey Lopez, our women's announcer, is going to come on in, and Tad will come in to do a segment, and I think they've talked to JR. JR, we're going to ask JR to do 2 next week, and we'll have a women's player in here, and so just a little bit of change next Monday night between 7 and 8 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a timeout. Josiah Sanders still to come. Coach Payne, they're coming off a great victory over Cincinnati as well over the weekend. They travel to Baylor now this week, I should say, so let's go ahead and take a timeout. Here at Carelli's, we're back in a moment. This is Colorado basketball from their field. Basketball is brought to us by Molson Coors Light, Mountain Cold Refreshment, Choose Chill, proud partner of the Buffaloes. Celebrate responsibly. Back here on Buffs Prime Time at Carelli's of Boulder, out here Monday nights from 7 till 8 o'clock. They're also streaming right now, by the way, not only in the Colorado Basketball Network, but on the CU Buffs Facebook page. Hey, one more segment with Tad Boyle, and then it's Josiah Sanders and JR Payne to come. We met our new boss today.
Yeah.
Fernando Lobo, new athletic director.
Great day.
Yeah.
Great. He handled himself really well, I thought, and good turnout at his press conference. So welcome aboard. We're excited to work with him. You know, I've had a short phone conversation with him, caught him for like 30 seconds today to congratulate him, but we'll hopefully get with him, sometime this week and look forward to it.
Yeah, very impressive guy. I said earlier on a show, I said, you've got one chance to make a first impression. What's that old line for that commercial, right?
That's right.
And he hit home run today. It was outstanding. And now we'll let him get his feet wet, and then you and JR can sit down and start talking about what college basketball is all about, where you need help, right?
Well, he's got a tall task ahead.
Yes, he
does.
does.
No doubt about it. You know, and I know, Mark. I mean, I think the only thing harder than being a college coach today at this level is to be a college athletic director at this level. So definitely work cut out and challenges ahead. But, hey, we all signed up for this deal.
Yeah, without question.
Here we go.
When you talk to other coaches, are you kind of preaching to the choir each other? I mean, we've saw the comments from John Calipari the other day and Coach Izzo. Whenever, is it pretty much a common, consistent message you're hearing from other coaches?
Yeah, and it's interesting you mentioned Tom Izzo. Tom Izzo called me after the Northern Colorado game.
Yeah.
And not to console me, but, maybe to console me.
Yeah, probably a little bit, yeah.
A little bit. But and I told him, I said, Coach, I got so much respect for what you stand for, what you do. Number one, how he coaches, how he runs this program. And the things he said, I couldn't agree more with. And then John Calipari, as you know, was a GA at Kansas when I played there.
Sure.
So I go back 40 years with John, and he and I text a lot last weekend. And after his he sent me a copy of his tirade and said I couldn't help myself. And I texted back and I said, "Good for you. I'm glad you didn't hold back." Because John, both Coach Izzo, Coach Calipari, number one, they're very intelligent people. They wouldn't be successful at this level for as long as both of them have if they weren't. But they do it for the right reasons. They do it for the kids, and they know that college athletics, when you look at it from one lens, you think, hey, they're making money. That's a great thing for kids, and that's true.
Right.
But we're not setting them up for success.
No.
And the graduation rates are going down. And when you transfer to 4 schools in 4 years, or 3 schools in 4 years, whatever the number is, it's really difficult to get that degree. And the high water mark for a lot of these kids in terms of their earnings is going to be their college years. What's that going to do for their mental health when they're 27 years old and nobody's offering them millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars to play, and they don't have a college degree and they want to go get a job?
Yeah.
What are they going to get paid then?
And, they don't identify with any program, and so you don't have a alumni base to tap into.
There's a lot of unintended consequences, and I just think we all want some rules and guidelines. And their point is, it's that freshman kid. We got Josiah Sanders here tonight. We had Jalen Holland last night. The thing that makes those kids so special, number one, is the families that they come from.
Yeah.
And we are big on recruiting kids from great families that have the right priorities. Both those kids probably could have gone to other schools and made more money, but they came to Colorado. Money was a part of the equation, but it wasn't the deciding factor. And they're interested in a college degree. They're interested in developing there. They're interested in a great college experience. And those are the kids we got to get. And then those are the kids we got to retain. And I just believe that there's enough good families out there, like the Sanders, like the Hollands, and it goes on. Even Alon McKaylee from Israel, his parents were over here for a couple weeks, and they're just great people that care about the right things. And so I could go down our whole list of our roster, but I just believe in what we're doing, how we're doing it. And is money part of the equation, Mark?
Sure,
absolutely.
Sure it is.
But we got to put it in its right and proper place.
We kind of got veered off here, but that's
Sorry
all right.
about
This
that.
is good. No, this is good though. Over the weekend when we were in Tempe, one of the meals, Evan Batty and I were sitting close to each other.
Yeah.
And he and I got off in this conversation, and I said, Evan, look at what Boulder and CU and this fan base did. And Evan did a John Calipari where he went off on about a 3-minute rant, basically talking about what this did for him.
Yep.
And how he was impacted, and how if you're bouncing around, you don't have that connection anymore. And so, I mean, that guy's a poster child for what we're talking about.
Well, let me tell you a story about Evan Batty.
Yeah.
Because Evan Batty, when he was a senior, was the first year that NIL was part of the equation.
Okay.
And I went to Evan because I knew how popular he was with our fan base. I knew how much Boulder and the CU and Buff Nation loved him, and he loved them. And I said, Evan, we need you to be a poster child. We need you. I can put you in touch with business people in the community who are willing to support you. You can make $50,000, $60,000 just by,
being Evan Batty.
Being Evan Batty and open up your phone and open up to ideas. And he said, Coach, I have no interest in that. I want to be a senior. I want to be one of the guys. That's not why I came here.
Yeah.
And he turned it down.
Yeah.
And and so part of me loves and respects him for that, but the other part was like, I want to be able to sell future guys on what you've done. But the people here now, and Josiah never heard that story, but and these kids today, that ship has sailed. Like there's Evan Batty's one of one.
See, you guys
that's
didn't
the kind of kid he is.
You guys didn't think you could love Evan Batty anymore, do you?
Yep.
Did you? Now you do. Now you do, don't you?
I do too.
Yeah, without question. No, great story. And Evan's certainly unique. And his senior night nobody here had a dry eye that night. He was standing on top of that table, and everyone was crying like babies that night. So,
exactly.
Great stuff. Hey, Indiana. You and I were talking about the Rose Bowl a moment ago.
Yep.
Utah. Another red team coming in here on Wednesday night. Give us a couple of thoughts about Utah.
Well, two very, very talented scoring guards and a front line who's athletic and strong, and they set a lot of screens for them. A good team, a team that struggled here recently. They've lost their last two games, but like anybody in the Big 12, they're very capable. And those two guards, if we – Arizona State had one guard that was really, really talented. And we did a great job on Odom in that first half. He only scored 4 points. 2 were on a technical foul free throws, and 1 was off an out-of-bounds play where we went brain dead, and he threw it off our back and scored it. But, he did a good job in the second half, but we did a really good job with him. Now we got 2 guards we got to be really dialed into. So different game plan, but similar in some ways and different in others. So and I told our team, the one thing that we have to do, whether it's Utah and then we got Texas Tech on Saturday, like the game plan for these teams, Mark, will change, game to game, and we've got to be intelligent enough and focused enough to be able to change those game plans and then go out and execute them. So good team, but a team we can beat.
When a guy gets a technical foul, on the football side, Coach Barnett always calls when a guy gets unsportsmanlike or something, he calls him, selfish. Coach Prime says they're bull junk. When a guy gets a technical foul, where do you fall?
Like it's the way they get it.
Gotcha.
If they're complaining and whining, they're out of the game. Now, Barrington's was a little bit touchy in that he scored a basket and he gave old like you're too little.
Small, son, yeah.
And which is what kids do today. And
yes,
it's like, whatever. Like, and I should have taken him out of the game, but I didn't because it's it's ridiculous. But, he knows not to do that again. So 9 times out of 10, they're coming out. That time he didn't, and he probably should have. So, but, it depends on how it's gotten, I guess. Okay. I try to be consistent, but
do you talk to him about it afterward?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, because he just scored 2 points and they gave them 2 points back.
Right,
it's a net zero.
Exactly right.
And we're not interested in that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's again control what you can control.
Exactly
and having
right.
It's like I always say to use the football analogy. Pretend like you've been in the end zone before.
There you go.
Right?
And plan on coming back. As
and plan on coming back.
Say,
exactly.
Before we let you go, Josiah Sanders is coming up here. Give me a comment about him.
Unbelievable young man. I mentioned his family earlier. That's where it starts, his mom and dad. But he's a kid that we've recruited, it seems like, for 4 years now. It seems like maybe. And to have him finally in the program and to see him at practice every day, he's coachable, he's committed, he's got everything it takes to be a great Buff. He's here for the right reasons, and he's just going to get better and better and better, as the year goes on, but also as his career goes on, and he's a big part of our future. I mean, all that freshman class, along with our sophomores, you put that freshman and sophomore class together, like it's a special group, and we got to keep them together, and he's a big part of this future, and I can't wait to coach him, and he's just a joy to be around every single day.
Love it. All right. Hey, good luck on Wednesday night.
Thank you.
And by the way, you guys get out there and cheer on those Buffaloes
Absolutely.
on Wednesday night, now that we're in the conference play anyway. Let's go and take a timeout. We're here at Carelli's. It's Buffs Prime Time. Still to come, Josiah Sanders, JR Payne, and much more basketball talk. We're back in a moment. This is Colorado basketball from their field. Colorado basketball is brought to us by Pepsi. Grab yourself an ice-cold Starry lemon lime flavored soda for the ball game. Starry, it's different. Starry, proud sponsor of the Colorado Buffaloes. Back on Bus Prime Time here at Carelli's of Boulder. Out here every Monday night from 7 until 8 o'clock. I was just telling Josiah, this is his first time here tonight. Your first time ever?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're going to love the food. Right?
Yes, sir.
And this is where you want to come for dinner here in Boulder. Well, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing good. Doing good. Yes, sir. How about you?
Fantastic. Nice win on Saturday, wasn't it?
Yes, sir.
Did you guys learn something in a ball game? Kind of making big plays down the stretch.
For sure. I think we have a young team, and that was our first Big 12 game. And so just to step out and come out with the dub, that felt great for all of us.
Yeah.
But there's just a lot of things we could learn from. And so whether we win or lose, just trying to take those things that we can learn and get better.
Tell us about you becoming a Buff. I mean, Tad mentions that he's been recruiting you for a long time. You're a Denver guy.
Yes, sir.
And so you're familiar with the program, but how did you end up here?
I ended up here just through that consistent recruiting. I think the biggest thing for me is just seeing that the coaching staff, they were consistent throughout years and pursuing the same message. And just for me, that was a big thing because I wanted to have a coaching staff that I really trusted and that I knew they cared about me. And so I really felt that here more than I felt like I did at other places. It's just to look at that and be like, okay, I know these people, these coaches trust me, and they're willing to develop me to become the best basketball player.
proximity, I mean, being close for the family to come in, did that play into your decision?
I mean, it's nice to have. I think
Yeah.
for me, the other stuff trumps that, but just to have that, it's nice. Like I was home yesterday, just to
Okay.
be with the family, and so stuff like that. It makes the transition a lot easier. But I mean, I was prioritizing the other stuff for sure.
Yeah. Tell us about your family.
My family, yeah. No, I love them. Yeah, like those are my
Well, that's
people.
a good start
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
You love your family.
Yeah,
That's
I love
positive,
them.
yeah.
Yeah, they're and I mean, especially like through this like transition and stuff into college, they've been there a lot, and like I've
Okay.
really noticed the support. Like my brother, he played collegiate football. He went to the Air Force Academy and then transferred over to Stanford.
Okay.
And so he was there for 2 years as well. So to have his college experience just playing sports,
Right.
that's been good to have, especially at this time. My sister, she's in the Air Force as well, out in the DMV area.
Really?
Yes, sir. So she's
Wow.
she's doing her thing, and so she calls me after every game, gives me her little insight. She's always there for me though. And then my parents, my dad, he was in the Air Force, retired, 23 years in there, and now he helps the under-resourced in the Denver metro area.
Okay.
So
All
he's
right.
helping them out. And then my mom, she's an accountant.
Okay.
So she's kind of at the house, and she's always there. If I need something, I can call her up. She'll bring it up for me, stuff like
There
that.
you
So
go.
so
Yeah.
they're always there for me.
See, it's close enough.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Where if you
it's
need
close enough.
something or you need to run home.
Yeah, for sure.
I was going to ask you if there was some military in the family with your brother and sister. Did you ever think about maybe going into the
I don't think so.
No,
I
no.
mean, my mom thought I was going to. She kept
right?
saying like, she was like, "You're gonna go to the military. I think you're gonna go." But for me, I was just like, I don't think so. Like, I think I want to, branch out a little bit
Yeah,
more, be a
yeah.
little different. But I got enough stories from the three of them to last a lifetime for sure.
Now having a military father, I'd imagine there was a very structured upbringing.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that
yes,
true?
Sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, for him, his thing was just take care of the things you need to take care of. And then he was pretty chill besides that. But
Okay.
just take care of the things around the house. Take care of the things. If you say you want to be a great basketball player, take care of the things you need to do to be a great basketball player. Do those things, and then he was good.
Your brother being a football guy. Were you a football guy growing up too? or-
I played one season, and he was actually my coach. It was in 5th grade, and I remember I got hit like real hard one time, and I was on the sideline, and I was just thinking like, this is not for me.
that knocked the football right
yeah,
out of you?
it knocked the football out of me. So after that, I was like, I'm gonna stick to basketball. I'm gonna be good with basketball.
Well, the thing about it, and Scott and I have referenced this many times. I mean, you've got a football build. You're a big, strong guy.
Yes, sir. Yeah, for sure.
Look like you should be a defensive end or something, right?
Yes, sir. I mean, I think that's a product of just lifting, and obviously my dad and my brother being football guys, like I was able to get in the weight room and get
Yeah.
big as a football player, I guess,
Right.
but carry that over to the basketball court too.
You've got something kind of unique, and I know Scott has talked to you about it a little bit. You're ambidextrous.
Yes, sir.
And-
Yes, sir. Yeah,
Yeah.
I use my right hand. Like, I mean, when I drink this, like I
Right.
use my right hand. I
How
eat
about
with
when
my
you
right
write?
hand. Right hand.
Right-handed.
When I throw with my right hand. The only thing I really do left-handed, I shoot, and then like if I'm gonna swing a baseball bat or something like that, I'll do it left-handed.
Really?
But everything else is pretty much right-handed.
When did you realize that seems backwards?
I
Right? I mean, if you're right-handed,
Yeah.
so when you picked
Yeah.
up a basketball, you started shooting left-handed naturally.
Yes, sir. I think like seeing my dad, because I would go to the gym a lot with him. And
Is
stuff.
he a southpaw?
And he's left-handed as
Okay.
well.
All right.
So I think just seeing that, I kind of like adapted to doing that. But yeah, everything else I just kind of felt more comfortable doing right-handed.
Okay. So if you throw a baseball, it's right-handed.
Yes, sir.
But golf or
But golf,
baseball
It
and
is
basketball
left-handed.
is left-handed.
Yes, sir.
That's kind of strange.
Yeah, I guess I'm so used to it now, but yeah, a lot of people have been noticing that, and like
It's got to come in handy, I would think, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yes, sir. Yeah, and even like in basketball, like I felt more comfortable like layups, floaters,
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
passing. I felt more comfortable with my right hand for a long time, so I was actually training my left hand, even though I was shooting with my left hand.
Yeah.
I was training my left hand to be as comfortable as my right hand.
Most basketball players, they're one leg dominant. So when you're going to dunk, a lot of guys are right-handed guy will go off his left leg.
Yes, sir.
Which one do you prefer?
I prefer my right leg.
So you prefer dunking left-handed too?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And I mean, I can jump off of both, but I think my right leg definitely gets it. But I'll dunk with my right hand even off my right leg.
Which is entirely backwards, right?
Which is
'Cause you're
super
off-
backwards.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
you're off.
But I think I mean it's nice to have because a lot of people don't expect that just because it's so different. And it's not normal.
That's become more common. Scott and I've noticed it with a number of guys on the team where they'll come in and go off the right leg with a right-handed
Yeah.
shot.
Yes, sir.
That's kind of the evolution of basketball. Isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. I think
Yeah.
like the unorthodox style of play, like it's become more handy now because
Yeah.
I mean you can watch film on players, you can learn their moves, but if you have some stuff that's a little off timed, that's actually not normal. I feel like that comes in handy.
You know, being in this program, as you well know, rebounding defense, you hear Tad talk about that nonstop. You've got an opportunity, as big and thick as you are, you've got a chance to, the way you can be a defender, I mean, you could be a special defender.
Yes, sir, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the things that I kind of took to heart when I got here, because in high school that wasn't really my role. My role was just to put the ball in the basket.
Sure, right.
And so when I got here, I mean, I was hearing it every day. I was watching it on film, and I was seeing if I'm gonna get exposed, like if I don't do the right thing on defense, I'm gonna get exposed. And so for me, just like taking that and really learning and kind of running with it, like I feel like I've been getting better, but I have a long way to go for sure.
This group of guys in this team. I mean, you're a lot of young guys, right? There's only one senior on this team.
Yes.
Talk about kind of the way you guys interact, and is there a closeness about this group?
Yes, sir, for sure. I think I noticed that right off the jump, like this summer, it was really apparent that we were just doing everything together. And I mean, especially the freshman group, because we're living together.
Yeah.
We're always doing stuff together. So you see one of us, you see all of us. But even the other guys, like BD, he's a junior. I mean, Sebi, I mean, all the sophomores, and then Elijah too. They've been really good, just about kind of taking us under their wing, showing us around Boulder, like showing us the different things that there is to do. That's off the court, and then on the court, kind of just inputting into like what we need to do to be better. Because I mean, we haven't been here before. We don't really know as much what to expect as they do, especially going into Big 12 play. But for them just to kind of take us under their wing and really just emphasize the things that we need to know.
That's good stuff. It's a fun group to be around. You were an impressive young man, all right?
Appreciate it.
Congratulations. Keep up the good work.
Yes,
all right?
sir. Appreciate it.
Josiah Sanders, freshman for the Buffaloes. They'll take on the Utes of Utah on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock. Let's go ahead and take a timeout. We're going to talk with the head coach of the women's team, JR Payne, coming up next here at Carelli's. This is Colorado basketball from Learfield. Back once again on Buffs Prime Time here at Carelli's of Boulder, Monday nights from 7 until 8 o'clock. Brought to us by Modelo, a reward for those with a fighting spirit. Modelo, brewed for full-time Buffs fans. CU women coming off a nice victory over Cincinnati over the weekend. They had the game right before the Buffs did, the men did on Saturday. They were at home, and I get ready to head down to Baylor. So congratulations on a nice win.
Thank you. Thank you. Before we begin, I think people are wondering which foot I like to dunk on.
Yeah, which one is it?
Yeah. I'm like Josiah. I like to go left hand. Yeah.
You really?
In my wildest dreams.
That's changing, though, women's basketball. You're seeing more dunks in women's basketball. You're going to face a big player this weekend.
Oh, my goodness.
Is she playing down there? The
well,
7-footer?
No. So I don't know, for those of you that haven't read, Texas Tech just signed a 7'1" young lady from
it was
Nigeria.
Tech. I was thinking it was Baylor. It was Tech.
No,
okay.
and they're still working on eligibility and stuff, so I'm kind of hopeful that we don't have to see her, but that's a large woman.
Yep. All right. Well, I'm glad we broke news tonight. That's how JR Payne likes to dunk. Cincinnati, a little slow start. Then you got to find your footing in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Turns out to be a nice win.
Yeah, I actually think the last two games we've played pretty well. And Cincinnati's a really good team. Their record is indicative of how good they are. Right. They signed a top 5 recruiting class in the country last year, so a lot of really talented freshmen. They've had a bunch of injuries. Their best player came back, of course, just in time to play us. She had 17 points. But, yeah, they're a really good team. I was really happy with how we played, though.
Yeah. When you have a slow start like that, what do you like take us into the huddle of a JR Payne huddle?
Well,
are you loud? Are you
not very often?
Gruff?
No, not very often.
No?
I'm about as calm and rational as they come. If I really raise my voice, the girls go. They know they really messed up.
Did you let T be the bad cop?
Oh, yeah, he's definitely the bad cop. I am the good cop. But that's the crazy thing is when I do get upset, they're like, wow, we really messed up. Yeah. So, but no, I mean, we have a group that is very coachable and they know their job, So, I mean, when we're not doing what we need to do, they know. And sometimes they get down on themselves because they're just disappointed in themselves for not doing what they know they should do. But we just have a really resilient group. Like they just came together and focused on the details of execution, both ends of the floor. And I thought had a really pretty good game after that.
As this team has kind of evolved a little bit, where are you seeing the most growth for them?
Execution.
Is that right?
For sure. Yeah, there's been game. And part of that is injuries and our point guard was playing and now she's out and then we're moving other people. So
and then it's the newness as well with
sure. Yeah, lack
of
organization though was a theme. Tad was talking about his film sessions. That was a common theme. Right. For the first 6 weeks of season was where can we get more organized? And it's been pretty good the last couple games.
Right. Yeah. Just from when you say execution, you're talking about getting the right sets, the right amount of effort. What do you?
Yeah, and overall pace. We run a system that requires a lot of movement. It's continuous movement, and we talk a lot about don't let the ball stick. Don't let it. It should never be in somebody's hands for more than a couple seconds unless you're attacking the basket or creating something. And that's an area that has been an issue, and we have players coming from so many different programs with 10 new people. And so it's a couple of our key players. They came from places where they played slower, and they held the ball and the ball screen came and it was kind of, and so we're just trying to train that out of them to move faster.
You would think a player that has been playing a game the bulk of their whole life would understand that if the ball stops here, it's really easy to guard that, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Right? I mean, you also can try to set up your defense, but we like to keep it moving, and be able to take advantage of great cutting and great, ball screens and pace and things like that. So
with the turnover on the roster, is that a greater challenge for you as a staff to get them to understand not just the culture, that's part of the offseason, but I'm talking about the X's and O's of what your system is.
Definitely. This is the first time in my career we actually signed 3 all-conference defenders from different places.
Okay.
Anael Duta from Rhode Island, Des Wooten from North Texas, Zy Walker from Kansas State. All 3 were defensive kids. But it's different type of defense, like we encourage aggressiveness and when in doubt, be aggressive, make aggressive plays, take gambles, be risky defensively when and where it makes sense. And they came from systems where it was play it safe, keep your man in front of you, don't gamble, things like that. And so that has taken some effort to try to train that out of them. But those 3 kids lead us in steals right now. So it's working.
Talk a little bit to the concept. People think, okay, if I'm a good on-ball defender, that makes me a great defender. But there is individual defense, there's team defense, and there's a difference there, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and sometimes you have players. We always tease Jalen Sherrod, who was a great player here, one of the best ever. She was fantastic on-ball defender. She was not great off-ball defender. So when we needed to just stay at home, lock up one kid,
put her on him.
Absolutely, yeah. But you have to be able to rotate and see the ball and make good decisions about when and where to switch and when and where to help. And as Tad had mentioned, the scouting report changes for every single opponent. The type of coverage you're in and where you're going to help and where you're not going to help and things like that.
Yeah, we talk about unselfish on the offensive end. Is there unselfishness on the defensive end as well?
I think so, yeah. I mean, someone that's willing to rotate, willing to communicate, that's a big one for, I don't know if it's the same for men, but for women, communication defensively is something that we have to work on every single day. Being able to take charges. Jade Masagayo leads us in charges, and I think all of that is unselfish play.
Really? Now you would think, because I think that the stereotype would be that women talk more than men do.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You would think that would be
Not
kind of
the case.
that's kind of right, but still you've got to work on communication.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we have drills where we go back to zero if someone's not talking, and I say, this is the easiest thing in the world. All I'm doing is watching your mouth. If it doesn't move, we're going to go back to zero. So, life is so much easier on the basketball court. The more you talk, the easier everything becomes.
Right. Tell us about Baylor.
Oh, man, they're really good.
Yeah,
they're really good. They return a lot of great players. They can shoot it. They have post play. They have one of the leading scorers in the conference at the guard position, transfer from Auburn. They have a Colorado kid that's done really well this year, Janet Van Geitenbeek from she was a Cherry Creek kid. They're really good. And then Oklahoma State Saturday is equally as good. So we have a tough stretch ahead of us.
Is this the kind of team that you've got that kind of enjoys those kind of challenges?
Oh, yeah, I think so. Yeah, and we've been home for a little bit. So I think we're excited to go back on the road, even though we love to play at home, try to be the villain.
We're looking forward to that one. It's now on the men's side, we talk about the Big 12 being as good as any league. Same thing on the women's side?
It's really good, yeah. I mean, they came out with the top 25 this year. I think I saw the men had 7 teams in the top 25. I think we had 5 maybe.
Okay.
So it is a strong league, top to bottom. And, number 8 in the country, TCU just got upset at Utah a couple days ago. Then Iowa State lost to Baylor. They were number 10 in the country. So there's a lot of parity in the conference.
Well, good stuff. Every game in the Big 12 going to be a great challenge. Hey, congratulations, and go get yourself one.
Thank you.
All right. JR Payne, they play at Baylor. The men on Wednesday with Utah at home. Get out and support these teams. Would you get out there and fill up the stadium when they're playing at home? As we put a wrap tonight on Monday night, it's Buffs Prime Time here at Carelli's of Boulder. Next week, 7 till 8 o'clock. Corey's going to be in here. More JR, more of the women's team. This is Colorado basketball from Learfield.